See, founding principles of artistic yoga, I have always been an explorer. Explorer means in yoga philosophy, you don't claim anything because here it starts with you are the subject, you are the observer, and you are the person who is going to write the report of your experience. So here everything is you. So when we started to develop the yoga science, so we have been taught Patanjali Yoga Sutra, we have been taught yoga from the Upanishads, yogic Upanishads, Ghiran Samhita, Shiv Samhita, Vasishtha Yoga, Hatha Pradipika. So the whole understanding of yoga has to be understood in much deeper way and much better way. So when and on top of that I did my postgrad and PhD in exercise physiology and sports medicine. That helped me to understand this body better. You know, because without understanding the body physiology, if you design something and anatomy, then uh, you will somewhere mess it up. So that was my key strength from which we developed the school of artistic yoga. So when I started my career, I started as a yoga teacher. I was in Scindia School, one of the very good schools in India, in Gwalior, and the name was Scindia School. There, where after my research, when I started practicing, and I had young kids to work with, so there were so many obese people, some had diabetes at a young age, and so many problems. Where I started using my know-how of yogic sciences and apply on them, and slowly I saw beautiful results. So 2 years, 2.5, 3 years I worked there, and after that I thought it was time for me to start my school. So I started in Delhi, but in the meanwhile I taught a lot in the police forces, in army those days, just to get the data. The problem of Indian sciences is that it lacks observational data. If you read any book of yoga, if you read any text of yoga, do this posture and your diabetes will be okay. But you have to understand diabetes is of two types. You know, type 1, type 2. Which yoga exercise will work for diabetes type 1 has to be understood at length. So, understanding the body physiology, understanding how body gets disease, and how out of these diseases, body goes into malfunction or disease state. So, first of all, when I approach yoga, I always wanted to avoid any kind of injury. Most of the time when you practice yoga, the fundamental requirement of the body when you do a deep stretch is to warm up the body. So it was in artistic yoga first time we brought up the concept of warm up of the body. What warm up does, it's a preparation, you know. So when you want to do your physical yoga, you want all your body energized, you want your body little warmed up so that muscles don't go into pull, any kind of cramp, any kind of jerk, any kind of breakage. So all that if you do. So first time in artistic yoga, the foundation strength was warm up is a key to our practice. Then the physical yoga, that means we have two sections of yoga. One is Bahirang Yoga and one is Antarang Yoga. Bahirang Yoga is your Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam. Antarang is Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. In Bahirang, we have 5 different practices, which is Asan, Pranayam, Kriya, Bandh, Mudras. So when I wanted to approach yoga, the foundation was that in each and every class, how do I include all the segments of yoga so that you get a wholesome, solution to your problems and wholesome experience of the science of yoga. It's a very old science, and any science that is non-contemporary gets deleted from observation, history, everywhere. So yoga has been there before Patanjali in the Upanishadic yoga. So yoga has been there for a long time. And as here there is no God man in the business of yoga, because here you are just the practitioner and you will remain a practitioner till you die. So once we fixed up the thing that we are going to work with warm up, and then the second concept was that everyone was coming to yoga to reduce weight. Someone wanted to shape up the body. Someone wanted to remove their double chin. Someone had a drooped shoulder. Someone had postural defects. Someone had diseases. So we wanted to work with specific body part on our yoga school. So we brought about 2 body part training in a day. That means if it's a Monday, we would work on abdomen and the back. On a Tuesday, we would work on legs and butt. On a Wednesday, we would work on upper body and inverted posture. So like that, we devised 2 body parts a day. That helped us to focus most of the, we have 84,000 postures. And with so many postures, curating the class was a phenomenon. When we started curating beautiful classes, people loved it. So body part yoga class, what does it do? Body part. See, even if I move my finger up and down, we're going to burn calorie. But if we move the body parts, so larger, longer muscles, we understood that if we work deeply on the longer muscles, body is going to lose weight, get healthier faster. We also brought about the concept that once your body part training is done, then we go into deep breathing exercise. Prana has been the most neglected subject of study, prana and consciousness. There are a lot of people who are working with consciousness, but prana is your breath. Yes, Buddha worked on breath for a long time, and he did give beautiful results. But when it comes down to understanding of prana, how the Vayu systems work in the body, how the lokas, the khandas, the mudras, all that semiosis, how does it happen in yoga, was to be simplified. So we simplified all the practices put in artistic yoga. So one side was a warm-up, another side was body part, and then we wanted to curate every class different. And that is what made artistic yoga a global school today, because we, as I said, the 84,000 postures, even if you don't repeat anything, you can teach yoga for 100 years without repetition of anything. So that know-how of yoga helped me a lot. Now comes that there were people who were obese, they were not well, they were not able to do yogic asanas. Now what do you do to them? Because if you tell them to raise leg, they couldn't raise leg. When you tell them to bend forward, they couldn't bend forward. Then we started developing this nyasi part of our artistic yoga, and that is partner stretches. So we developed more than 5,000-6,000 passive stretches on human body. So all those people who are very obese, who couldn't do anything by themselves, so our teacher would come, assist them, help them. So to explain this in little detail, I would go like, for example, if you want to raise your wrist on your own, you can go till here. But if I press, it goes much further and further. That means the stretch level changes. Now, when you do on your own, when you are very obese, when you are not obese, you can stretch your muscles. But when your muscles fat are too much, it comes on your way, you won't be able to do much. So this extra stretch that we gave to the customers, this extra stretch when we taught to our students, what happened? That this pressure changed the whole thing. So we developed that. So artistic yoga is an evolving school. Evolving school means I am most of the time in research, because as much I explore, as much I add newer dimensions to the practice, more beautiful experiences happens to the practitioners. So my whole path is, how do I evolve further? Like the combination of the bandhas, the mudras in a posture. In a single posture, we are doing one bandha, we are doing mudra, we are doing the breathing. So we approach the science of yoga much, much in depth. For example, imagine yourself in Dhanurasana. You are in Dhanurasana, that means you are lying down in your stomach, you're holding your ankles and raising the body up like a bow. Now imagine in this, we contract the entire body with 30% more intensity. So all these smaller additions, slowly, people start to understand and enjoy and develop the muscular strength. See, as we age, so Artistic yoga is fabulous to lose weight. Artistic yoga is fabulous that if you have been practicing artistic yoga, you will look much younger than your age. Most of the diseases, I remember I started online some time back, and there was a patient who had come and he said, I have this disease, this disease. Matter of 2-3 months of practice, he saw complete change in the blood test report, and that was very satisfying. So artistic yoga is there to stay forever because number of research that has gone into creating the brand and the amount of scientific understanding as that has gone into building the fundamentals of the practice is very, very deeply understood and then implemented. Now, when someone talks about fundamentals of yoga, look, you can't change the yoga because then you go out of the soul. There's a difference between exercise and yoga. In exercise, you're supposed to burn more calorie and tire your body. But when it comes down to yoga, we conserve energy. We hold the posture more. We will talk at length. There's so much to understand in the science and working of yoga. But overall, we are a very contemporary school. We have understood that knowledge of science, which science has worked for so many years, observation, repetition and observation, and same experiences can be repeated. That's the space of science. Similarly, we have taught millions of students worldwide, and sometimes I meet my students and they say, this happened, that happened, and it is a story for a very long time. So when we are talking about fundamentals, we are well aware of every possible sutra that has come out of history. Maybe a Ghiran Samhita, Vasisth Samhita, Hatha Pradipika, Patanjali. You cannot understand, you cannot not understand Patanjali and talk about fundamentals. See, when he's talking about how to practice yoga, how to practice yogic postures. So they talk about prayatna saithilyam ananta samapratibhyam. Prayatna means effort. Saithilyam means effortlessly. When effortlessly you put your mind to beyond, and in artistic yoga school we use it as a breath. So many activities you will do in life, but all those activities not yogic. So here slow movement. See, here we are teaching awareness. The whole science of yoga is all about science of awareness. How can you instill the science of awareness when you do your practice? And what does awareness does to your practice? It heightens your space of reality. When you observe something, when you look at something, how much, for example, someone is crying by the side of the road. What is heightened awareness? One awareness is you pass by. Another awareness you talk. Another awareness is you look at the person and you understand what kind of pain one is going into. Now this is a heightened reality because without speaking, you're able to understand, absorb, assimilate much more things. So awareness is a science that can make human to God. The distance between God and human is just awareness. And yoga is the science of awareness of your body, mind, and the soul.